What up, people? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Y'all tap in with your boy CBDub, man. Down at the compound number 2, and let me get right to it though, man. Like I said I'll post up a little video chopping up, explaining what happened a couple days ago. You know what I mean? I think Black Friday, whatever. It was like one of them Saturdays or something like a couple days ago. I was just chilling, actually taking care of a little business, man. And the moral of this story, before I get into it even deeper, it's gonna be about 5 to 8 minutes long. You know, people stop being the go-to person, because when you need to go to somebody, they're not there, or they're too busy, or etc. etc. So you have to understand, a lot of people are just around when they need to go to you and get something, or need to ask you for something, or need to beg something from you. So let's go and get to the story. I'm chilling. I was, at my house, since I put up at the house. I get a call, from a 720 number. I'm like, well, dang, one of my partners, and stuff like that. But it was a video call. So I'm like, okay, let me see what the homie talking about and stuff like that. Get on the phone. Long story short, knew something was wrong, bro. This kind of was just rambling. You know what I mean? And wasn't making sense, but was making sense. But, his conversation was all over the place. And I'm like, man, what's going on, bro? You know what I mean? And, man, life will humble you. You know what I mean? And life will show you who needs to be in your life. And life will also show you who needs to be out of your life. So the homeboy has been that go-to person. I tell people all the time, it's kind of hard being that go-to person, because everybody gonna come to you. It's hard being that successful person, because everybody gonna come to you. It's hard being that person that got the bag, because everybody's gonna come to you. And it's hard being that person that has a good heart, because everybody gonna come to you. And all them things I named off, you have to deal with a lot of bad people along the way, a lot of selfish people along the way that come with having all them attributes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the homie was going through. You know what I'm saying? So he was to the point where on that video call, he's ready to off himself. I literally stayed on the phone with him for a whole hour and a half trying to talk him out of it. I ended up talking him out of it. In the process, at the same time, I had, I was on my tablet emailing, some people that was, out there in California that can ping that number that he was calling from, so they can GPS or whatever they did it to get to his location. So I'm on the phone during this whole time doing the email and all that stuff, etc., etc. You know what I mean? But bro was just rambling all over the place, man. He was stressed out with life. He was stressed out with people that he'd been there for, and those are the same people that wasn't even there for him when he needed them. You know what I mean? Like he said, it was never about the money. You like, man, he was going through some mental stuff. You know what I'm saying? He needed, but like I said, people like I told him, man, you have to understand, man, people is gonna use and use and use. I'm like, and I had to tell him, like I said, bro, this year alone, myself this year alone, I found out who was there for me and who wasn't. And it took from when my son was in out of hospital getting sick and almost passing away and all that type of stuff. I found out exactly who was my friends and who was my foes. I found out who loved me and found out who didn't love me. I found out, all kind of shit. So I ended up cutting friends loose, cut girlfriends loose, some family members loose, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And the thing was, like I told him, like, man, we all go through it. But not any time during that time I ever thought about offing myself. Like I told him, I said, no, you got too much to live for. But I know a lot of people nowadays, it's kind of like one of them things. They be like, hey, they just throwing it all away. They gonna throw it all in. Like, I'm done. And so I had to talk him out of that, man. It was a crazy ordeal. You know what I mean? It was a very crazy ordeal. And I just had to share that. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is, everybody stop being that go-to person for people that you can't go to when you need to go to them. Stop being that. Stop being accessible to everybody and you're not accessible to them. Stop helping people every time they got their hand out. Because when your hand is out, they know where to be found. Stop picking up the phone calls. Stop returning the texts. All that stuff. I looked out for so many damn people. It's pathetic. Like I told a homeboy, I have looked out for so many people. It is pathetic. But I never thought about ever taking myself out. I just take myself out them equations and like don't deal with them no more. You know what I mean? And like I told him, he said it was the most hurtful thing. He said, man, I was eating with people, you know what I mean, that I knew wasn't right for me. Like I told him, I said, man, you know how many people this year, last year, several years, the last 5-6 years that I ate with, and I knew they was gonna bite the hand that fed them. They didn't have nothing about nothing, let's keep it a stack, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know how many people I didn't ate with that I knew that was gonna probably talk shit about me eventually on down the line, that I was gonna have to talk crazy shit to. You know what I mean? Like I told me, there's plenty of people. I said, but you have to understand, them are just people of their habitats. They creatures of their habitats. They product of their environment. They gonna do that. You just gotta check that shit right from the gate. Regardless if they call you mean, people call me mean and say I'm an asshole and all that type of stuff. Oh well, that's what I am. At the same time, I'm not gonna let a motherfucker cross me or any damn thing or have me all stressed out to the point I want to off myself like my homeboy was trying to do. No, that's not happening. People, before you get to that point, don't be trying to off yourself and anything like that. You cut off them people. Them people are dead weight. Stop being that go-to person. Stop being that person always helping people that got a handout. Start saying no. It ain't gonna hurt to say no. Start saying no, motherfucker. Because everybody, like I told him, everybody that has tried to cross me this year, God is putting them through hell. Karma is kicking they ass. I'm telling you. Everybody that left me hanging when I was going through all that with my son and all this shit when my cars got stolen, all that type of shit, etc., etc. Don't you know all them people are going through hell and karma right now? Half of them, or 75% of them, are like one paycheck away from being on the streets. God bless you. Don't let it stress you. I'm out.